I think I made the point of being angry on Tuesday night, and I was angry in terms of the goals we conceded. And after 48 hours, that anger's turned to frustration, as it often does. You kind of look back at the game and you realise just how positive certain parts of the game was. And we were massively part of a real good night's football. We played against the top of the table team, a really good team. And things could have been different. Obviously, they could have been different if we'd have scored the early goal. But it wasn't. But, the resilience that we've shown, the character that we've shown to, forge our way back into the game gives us great confidence going forward. And that's the overfacting emotion, for me and for the players this morning, is that we come in and we try and take the positives out of Tuesday rather than look too deep into the negatives.
I guess when you get a game like that, like you say, it was so split, particularly in the last 15 minutes when you put a real good rallying cry to get yourselves back in the game. The positives of the confidence you can take going into the game on Saturday, but I guess it's the frailties that you'd be working on specifically on the training ground. Right?
Without a doubt, we'd be fools if we weren't going to be speaking about the goals that we did concede, not just on Tuesday night, but at certain moments of the season. They've been repetitive in terms of the types of goals that we've conceded, which concerns me and it concerns the lads as well. But we're honest, we are an honest bunch, and we're brave enough to talk about that individually and collectively. And that's what we'll do this morning. We'll work on it, and we'll work about a game plan to try and beat Colchester, and an opposition who's got high hopes themselves to progress and get into League One. And but they're very near to us in the league, and what we don't want to do is we don't want that gap to develop. We want to be in and around that group below the playoffs at this moment in time, and see where it takes us.
I guess it's kind of funny how the fixture list works out. Obviously, frustration from Tuesday night comes that you've pushed a team who were just in the League One last year so close, and you get the opportunity to do the same this weekend and hopefully improve that result.
Well, yeah, Colchester themselves, they've got their own agenda, and we appreciate that, and we respect it as well. But for us, I've always said, my mantra won't change: concentrate on ourselves. When we play to our full maximum, we could give anybody a game. We proved that on Tuesday night. We played to our full maximum for the last half hour of the game, and we scored 2 goals and really pushed Doncaster all the way. We have to make sure that can we? And it's difficult. I understand it's very, very difficult to create that type of performance over 95 minutes. But the more minutes you're able to do that, it gives you a better chance of getting the 3 points, and that's what we're looking for this weekend.
We just talked about the 2 goals there. One of them from George Maris obviously was slightly special. I guess when you look back throughout the season, there'll certainly be a decent highlights package by the end of it, because the team scored some excellent goals throughout the year, really.
I said this after the game. Our goals we've scored this year have been a real high level. Been some fantastic individual strikes, some good team goals. I thought Berry's goal on Tuesday night was a great goal. Fantastic header, a great header, a Luke Berry header, really. It's the scrappy goals that I'd like to see a little bit more of, because they're the kind of goals that we're conceding at this moment in time. So can we kind of change that? Can we be the ones that go on the front foot and get a tap in from 6 yards, or comes off somebody's knee or back or bottom or whatever it's going to be? We've not scored enough of them goals this year. We've scored some good goals, some real high quality ones, but not enough scrappy ones.
You think that the scrappy goal can sort of turn the tides? You get that sort of consistent run of results that the league's so tight they can propel you right up the league in a very quick turnaround in games, really, can't it?
Well, since I've been at the football club, we've managed to go on good runs. We have, and listen, we've had a couple of bad runs as well. I think every team at League 2 level have had that. Talking about the top of the table team in Doncaster, by their own admissions, they were disappointed with not winning in 5 themselves. So it happens, and I understand that. I'm aware that that's going to continually happen at League 1, League 2 football clubs, because that's the level that we play. But I know that we've got the capability of going on a good run. And once again, we've lost on Tuesday night, and the challenge for us now is to get back on the horse and make sure that we can have a real encouraging last 13 games.